Yo, this is Never Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
Hey, I told you guys! Don't go man! Just one game! All I've heard for the last 5 weeks is we want Dallas! So all you haters, you come down for me! You fuel the fire! Because I want it! Are you gonna say, hey, you dig it?
What is up? It's your boy Mike Tag here with Jimmy D. Back from Dallas, back from the beatdown at AT&T. Nothing better than that weekend. And, before we get going, make sure you guys hit that like, hit the subscribe, join the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. I missed some of the games. That's why I need Jimmy D to help me fill in the gaps because I was so focused on the game Sunday night. When you're there, you can see a little bit of the 1 o'clock, most of the 1 o'clock, but then you kind of miss a late game. So make sure you guys do all that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that. Get all that stuff out of the way, man. Having a great time. The videos been dropping, been a lot of fun. Getting my share of hate, which, I love, the jealousy, of course. But Jimmy D, how was your weekend? I know the Falcons, looked like they had a tough loss. I didn't get a chance to see it. So your weekend wasn't as good as mine, but I got a lot to cover on the weekend. But I want to check you first.
And we're going to get to your weekend. I know you had a fun weekend with MJF over in Dallas. I'm glad to hear that. But people are probably saying, Jimmy D, why are you wearing New York Knicks gear? What's going on? Well, I'm going to make a comment real quick. You're talking about the Falcons. The only player on the Falcons showing any heart right now is Cordell Patterson. I like when he tweeted out yesterday, F your fantasy league. I don't care about your fantasy points. We're here to win. The rest of the team, including Arthur Smith with his stupid-ass play calling, is pissing me off. So they're playing with no heart. My New York Rangers, with the exception of our captain, Jacob Trouba, throwing down Saturday night is showing no heart. So I'm representing the Knicks, who are showing plenty of heart. And I have one thing to say to the Rangers and to the Atlanta Falcons right now. Mike, you probably know where I'm going. When you put that uniform on, you got to show some pride.
Have a little
pride.
I'm
not seeing it, and I'm pissed off. So I'm repping the Knicks tonight, and I'm pissed about the Falcons. But I'm happy, again, that you had a good time in Dallas. I missed you.
Yeah. It was funny. Well, my man Chris, that Tony Pollard started over Zeke. Well, Zeke got in, I guess, a little bit of trouble. But if that's a start, I told you guys, I could give two you-know-whats about who gets the first carry of the game. Those guys are a 1-2 punch. You're talking 220 yards rushing. I still don't understand it. I still don't get it. Why these people are infatuated with who gets the first carry of the game or who's the first snap of the game. It really don't much matter. All I know is they are both deadly. They're both playing at the top of their game. And I mean, even a third string running back, Davis, he joined the party. He got a touchdown. I felt bad. That's what put us over 50, and a little salt in the wound, but we had the backups in. Took it easy on them. Felt bad. Wanted to give them a little bit of life, make them feel like they were getting comfortable. And, the defense showed out. And the funny thing is my buddy who I went to the game with, if you guys watch the show on Thursday, we made him like a little guest appearance to get it going. He handled it pretty good, but I don't know if it was on the show or when we were talking. He said, Mike, he goes, who's your safeties? And I gave him the safety. He goes, oh, Malik Hooker. He's laughing. He's one of our cast-offs. He sucks. We're gonna expose him. And I said, all right, man, just get ready. And I even did a video after Malik got that, second turnover, took it to the house. I was glad to see him have a big game. And I always said it's kind of weird that it's that things just happen. Like, playing your old team and you always have big games. How many times you hear that story back in and they just have big games. So I was really happy. I loved it. So much to cover. but we got a lot of chats going on here.
Did, well, wait a minute. Did you hear what Jeff Saturday was saying to Mike McCarthy after the game? He was saying, "This is supposed to be an exhibition. You hear that? An exhibition."
Well, and the funny thing is I don't know who posted it. Someone on Instagram posted it, and they said that Jeff Saturday was on when he was an analyst before he became a NFL coach in the same season with no coaching experience. And he said Dallas is going to be the most disappointing team of the season. This was like when the season was starting, and I love that. Disappointing with 54. We could have made it much worse, but
you
anyway.
took it easy on him. I'll tell you something. I sat and I was surprised, and I think we kind of talked about it before. Like a lot of Cowboys games, you get to halftime, it's a little close. Maybe you're teasing them, and then I was actually had one eyebrow up toward the end of the first half when it was close. I mean, I see you guys were had full out blitzes on Matty Ice on third and mid, which was a smart move because he's not mobile. And you guys were just annihilating them on the line of scrimmage. It was
it was good, and it really they had a couple decent semi decent runs, but they only averaged like 3.3 yards carry. So the run defense did their job. Had a few hiccups in the secondary, and we'll get into that with Anthony Brown. Achilles out for the year. A lot of people, if you're going to look at one, my son kept tweeting me during the game, when Brown was playing, he got beat on a deep pass for a touchdown. Oh, we need to get him out of there. We need to, run with Bland, run with Joseph and Diggs. I'm like, man, see what happens. And then I didn't see him in the game. So, a lot of times when you're at the game, you can't pick up on everything that's going on. But I'm like, did he get benched because he got beat a couple times or what happened? And then he said he was limping off. And, Bland, 2 picks. Joseph got beat on 1, but you could see he started getting a little bit better. He needs a guy who needs some playing time, but it does concern you. I mean, if I'm being a Cowboys fan, it's one of those things, careful what you wish for. People wanted Brown out. I mean, now we got Diggs. You're down to your 4th and 5th corner that you had to start the season because, J-Lou's out for the year, our 3rd corner, and then obviously Brown going out. So there is going to be some concern with that depth. And, going against Philly, going against some of the other teams that run 3 deep and got some firepower, we're going to have to make sure that these guys either step up quickly or is there a veteran out there that they can get just to get in-house, maybe to calm it down a little bit, be there in a situational, type thing if one of these guys get in trouble because, there's not a lot behind them.
Were you at all concerned at toward the end of the first half where there was kind of went back and forth? There was, Dak threw an interception. The Colts had a turnover. I mean, at that point, are you like, yeah.
No, when you're there, I always got to get a pretty good feeling of the game. Like the Bears game you and I went to.
Yeah.
The Bears kind of, they made it a little bit of a fight, but there was no doubt in my mind we were the better team. You can just see it. We had everything. And eventually, as Randy Savage used to say, the cream rises to the top. And it was just a matter of time before we opened it up. If you really watched the game, I had no concern. I knew we'd pull away. I was like, man, I hope it's not an ugly game. I hope we get it. I wanted to beat them down and get it over. It would have started it sooner. But once the onslaught happened, it was full on. At 33 points in a quarter, I mean, most points in a quarter in franchise history. I think it might be the most points that I've seen since, I don't want to bring up bad memories of the Broncos, but when Doug Williams dropped 35 in the second quarter of the Super Bowl with the then Redskins and Broncos, that's the last time I remember, that many points in a quarter. But it was relentless, man. It was relentless.
Yes, it was a beatdown, man. And let me ask you this: Did our mutual friend, fall asleep at the game like our friend did at the Bears game, or did he stay awake to take in the whole ass kicking?
No, he didn't, and I don't want to jump back, but I have some funny stories from the weekend, so I got to share them.
Yeah.
And I've got the videos. I was on the plane and working, so I wanted to cut it up to show you. So, we got in Friday, didn't really do a whole lot Friday, went to a steak dinner. He wanted to have a steak dinner. If you saw him, the man likes to eat. So I want to make sure he's full before he gets embarrassed and loses his appetite on Sunday. So we went out and got steak dinner Friday. Saturday, they had the Big 12 championship game. So they had TCU and then they had, K-State. So we're like, man, we got to go to the game. And he goes, well, I said, I don't have tickets. Well, I'll just get on StubHub. He goes, isn't there going to be some scalpers out front that we can, maybe grab some tickets from? I'm like, dude, what world are you living in, man? What's the last time you done anything? Yeah, the scalper's StubHub, man. You got to go on
Right.
StubHub and get it. So there's a Walmart across the street from the stadium. I think you and I might have went there. And they had some TCU stuff. So, bought a cheap shirt, pair of shorts, a hat. So now we're TCU fans for the day.
Yeah.
Go in there. College atmosphere, I'm telling you guys, college atmosphere for big games it really is like no other. It just tradition. And I got to go back to school. That's one thing I learned. I got to get back to college. I'm going to be like Rodney Dangerfield in that movie. But it was it was a lot of fun. So tried to cutting up the story a little bit. So we just found an open area to sit. We bought cheap tickets, sat up in the 400 section where all the students were. And you can see the big fan base. And now the game's getting intense. So now there's some talking on one side to the other, and we're in the middle. So some kids sitting next to us says, "Hey man, we're going to be doing a lot of S talking. Man. Do you mind?" I was like, "Look, I don't care. I don't care about neither one of these teams, man. I bought this stuff at Walmart. I said, I could care less. We came here just to enjoy the game. I said, you guys do what the hell you want. Just don't bother me." And so we're sitting there watching. Then it got intense, and it got more intense. And so then it was one TCU fan and 4 or 5 kids from K-State. Now they made eye contact. They're going back and forth. Every time one team does something, the other talking. And so then the TCU dude stands up and he's, "What up? What up?" And then they're going back and forth. He goes, "I'll beat all 5 of you dorks up. You want to go outside?" And I'm like, and me and my buddy are like, "Look, man, there's a space right in front of us. You got 2 by 2, man. You guys can settle it right here." So then they just kept going back. And then one of the dudes came over and got in his face, and he didn't notice him because he was to the side. Turned around, he got up. His buddies came, and there were some girls there that they were trying to pick up. And we're like, "Look, dude, I'm just going to be straight with you. That TCU guy is he'll slap all 5 of those down in one shot. You guys might want to pick up." They ended up making up, but we had a blast, man. It was nothing like a college game. It wasn't better than the Sunday night game. I will say that. Nothing better than the Sunday night game, but colleges is awesome.
Well, might there have been a little alcohol consumption at that point with those kids, those college kids throwing some beers back?
Well, they're serving all the alcohol. They're getting juiced up, and I mean, there was some girls stumbling up the stand. It was funny, man. It's like you can just people watch, and that's the thing is like when you go to a game and you have no allegiance. You probably felt that at the Cowboys Bears game. You had no allegiance. You just picked a side. And you just roll with the flow. If one team's doing good, you just whatever on the other one. And you have no dog in the fight, so you're not emotionally attached to it. So it was a lot of fun, man. I'm glad we just happened to be there that weekend. I've never done a college championship, conference championship game. So it was a lot of fun. But that's my college story. We'll get back, to football because the chat.
Now, a footnote. The 1 on 5, what does that remind you of?
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
That was a time when Jimmy got a little inebriated, went inside the club, jumped on the stage, got thrown out, and he challenged all the bouncers to a fight, pointed at me and our friends saying, "We're going to kick your ass. You guys come outside." And I had to drag him out to make sure that nothing happened to me. I don't want to hurt this pretty face. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. But chat lines are big because we're talking about the cornerbacks. I know Steve Diggs on one side, Bland on the other. I agree. Joseph is my wild card, and my son he'll calm me down. He says he'll be fine when he gets going. I'm concerned about that, but more importantly, I'm concerned about depth. Okay, God forbid one of those go down. I mean, you got Wright, maybe Vasher's still on the practice squad. Maybe I don't know what else is out there. So like you said, there's some guys that maybe veteran that maybe we could pick up. And again, you're only talking 5 games left. He wouldn't matter until 2 or 3, and you're not asking him to start. You're just trying to solidify that position because right now, that if just being honest, that's just going to be a little bit of a concern. But I think Bland. I mean, he proved it with those picks, especially that second pick where he snatched the ball right from the guy. I think he's going to be good, but you got to be straight up, man. You're looking at. We're the team to beat because Garoppolo got hurt, so you don't know what's going to happen in San Francisco. And I'm sure you'll fill me in on that, Jimmy, because I missed what happened. But if it's coming down to Philly and Dallas, let's say those are the top two teams, which I think they are in the NFC. Philly's got some weapons at receiver. I mean, we can hate them all we want, but we got to be legit and say, got to be honest and call it for what it is. They've got some weapons. So we need to make sure that we solidify and just make sure that we're covered a little bit. I like what we got, but behind there is a little bit of concern.
Well, and I'll tell you, we'll get to the Eagles later, but I hate to say it because I can't stand Philadelphia, but Hurts looked good yesterday, man. They looked really good against Tennessee.
They did, and I thought Tennessee was going to win this, and I only saw a little bit of it, but I thought they'd lose. And look, we can all talk, and it's a lot of jabber back and forth. Now, I believe Dallas is. I'm sincere in what I say. I think Dallas is going to beat them. I think they're going to beat them on Christmas Eve. There's not a doubt in my mind. I watched these two teams match up, and I just think we're going to beat them, no doubt.
I hope so.
I mean, I can't be naive to say that Philly's not good. I mean, they're playing good. They're winning their games. Yeah, they won a couple ugly ones, but we have two, and we lost an ugly one, in Green Bay. So it's going to be real interesting what happens. I don't think, put it this way, December 24th is not the last time we're going to see each other.
No, probably not. And, again, you play with everybody's got injuries. It's next man up situation. How that works. But I'll tell you what, you guys are hitting your stride at the right time. Remember last year, you kind of peaked. And then once you hit that near the playoffs, I think you guys kind of, it was when you're on cruise control and you got it and maybe you don't have that fire inside of you. So you guys are peaking at the right time.
And that's why I said the best part of this is Eagles being good is that's what it's forcing us to do. We need to fight. We need to go down to the wire and have, playing for something, whether it's seeding or playing for the division number 1 seed. We're going to be the 1 seed or we're going to be 5. So we're either going to get the bye or we're going to play Tampa. And we're going to be at Tampa. Good for me because I live in Tampa, so it's an easy trip for me to go to the game. But I'm not that crazy about playing Brady. I'll be straight with you. I mean, I think we're better than them. I think we're better than the Bucs. I don't doubt that, but it's just one of those things. I don't want to play Rodgers. I'm glad that they're going to be gone. They're not going to make the playoffs. So I want us to have the best path to the championship, and number 1 seed is probably going to be the best path because more than likely you're going to play Philly again in Dallas, or we're going to play them in Philly because that more than likely, let's say all the seeding works out. That's what's going to happen. Let me just answer. I saw a chat in a chat question in the chat about the rally day. I've been to the rally day. Jimmy, did you go with me or did we bail on that one? I can't remember.
The rally day was that
before the game when you go on the field?
That we did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It used to be really good. They've kind of changed it. You can't go in the locker room. They had that blocked off. They really don't have much anymore there. It's a waste of money for me. Now, I've been to the stadium a bunch. I've done to the rally days. My kids, we always go. They got stuff there. You can throw the ball and all that. But I wouldn't go there again. I'm not spending my money to go there again. I'd rather drive up to Frisco and do the tour up there. That was a nice tour, or do the VIP tour, which I think is only an extra $5 or $10 at the stadium. They'll take you around, and then you go in the locker room for that, and then they dump you off just like you're doing the rally day where you can jump on the field. So I would pay the extra $10 to do the full tour if it were me. But once you do it once, what do you need to do it more than But it was cool, really good. But they tightened it up. They said people were standing on the lockers. It's always, some people that got to ruin everything for everyone else.
Some schmucks kind of ruined it. No, we went several years ago when it was good. And that was fun. Yeah, he broke his foot or his ankle.
Yeah, so
what ankle? I thought it was his foot.
He's out. He's out for
he's done.
Actually, he's gone for the year.
Him and Matt Stafford are out for the season.
So what's San Francisco? You really don't have much option. You can't trade for a quarterback. There's no one out there.
Baker Mayfield was released. No, I tell you though, but you see they beat up on Miami, and it was a close game when Jimmy G got hurt.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I just don't know long term. And San Francisco, if you guys follow us, that's a team that I would say is, that's. I don't want to say scare, but that's the team that would concern me the most in the playoffs. We don't, the matchup, styles make fights, and I don't know if that's the best matchup for us. I think Philly's actually a better matchup for us to beat them. And I know Diggs, I have no problem. He's going to lock down Brown. He did it before. But you got Smith, you got the other kid, you got they've got more guys. I mean, Philly's just more than just one guy. So we've got to have the depth. Like I said, it's just I think as an insurance policy, I think they should, and I'm sure they will. But you got to look around and you got to see what's going on.
Hey, but you know what threw things in a little bit of chaos yesterday was that tie between Washington and the Giants. You know, when you have that tie and it throws off that winning percentage, you don't know how that's going to play out in the final week of the season.
Well, I think the Giants are done. I think they're done. I think Washington's going to pass them. I think Washington's going to end up getting in the playoffs. I don't think the Giants are going to get in the playoffs. I think they got Philly twice. They got to play Washington again. I think they got another. I think they might have the tight. They got a tough. Their last half of the schedule. You can't give away games like that. That was bad coaching. You can't give away games like that. And they gave that game away, and that's going to come back to haunt them.
Sounds like my Falcons.
Well, Falcons, same thing. You can't give away games you should win, and the Falcons are in a crap division. All they've got to deal with is with the Bucks who aren't playing well, and they shot themselves in the foot again.
All but one of our losses is one score. The only team that blew us out was the Bengals.
Yeah,
just pisses me off. It was bad play calling, and again, lack of heart. Except for CP84.
There you go. And Boss Man Fat going to make his mark. Yeah, no, that's what my man said. He's been texting me. He's all on it. So that's what it's about. And so we'll definitely see. And back to the rally day. Are you asking? Do you get to meet any players? You don't. What you do is there's some legends. No, I don't forget. Let me rephrase that. Former Cowboys that are there. Some aren't legends. I mean, one's like Lincoln Coleman sometimes goes there. He had that one game against Miami in the snow. But every now and there's a few guys there. But at the Star, you can run in to players because that's a training facility. If you could do a tour on a Friday or like during the week, they're practicing or they're in there working out. I saw a few of the coaches when we went, and that was on like a Saturday. But there are players getting rehab. Now you can't go near him. You can't talk to him. You can't do anything. They're pretty strict on that. Just kind of, you can look at them. You can't even take a picture. That's pretty cool. So I would say definitely do that. So.
Hey, can I address two comments I saw?
No, go ahead. I see some comments.
First thing, Chris DeGray. Earlier, Chris, you mentioned about why am I a Knicks fan? Because I'm live in New York. I'm from New York. I'm New York forever. And I'm not some bandwagon fan. And you know what? The Celtics, best team in the league right now. I'm not going to argue with you about that. But that's why I'm wearing my Knicks gear. And because we're the only one of my teams right now playing with Eddie Hart. Second thing, Jose. Yeah, how about Brian Cashman getting signed to a 4-year extension today?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, unbelievable. I just shook my head. So
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I just want
company man, because he's a company man. That's why I got the extension.
So see, Baker got caught. I'm just running through the chats. Want to give the people that Kelvin Joseph lockdown, Smith at Bama. I understand he's got to prove it. The thing with Kelvin Joseph is he's always in the position, but he never makes the play. And and he had a chance for a pick last night. I think that would have done a lot for his confidence, and that didn't work out. So I like Kelvin Joseph. No one wants to see him succeed, obviously more than Cowboy fans. I'm just saying a little concern. AT&T over the summer is awesome. Yeah, no, that's good. If you do the VIP tour, you definitely get to check that out. The rally days, that kind of went south. I think they should be able to do a little bit more. Concerned about Dak. He's week to week QB. He's inconsistent. He play lights out 3 games in a row. He's averaging 32. We're averaging 32.8 points per game since he's come back. Defense has something to do with it. He's playing what he needs to play. I've said it a million times. Bad interception in the first half, no question about it. No one's going to play perfect. I mean, I wish it ain't going to happen. But he bounced. He came back, ended up, recovering and making things happen. So he's played fine. The thing is, we got our running game. So his numbers are going to come down. and I'm fine with it. I'd rather see him throwing for 250 and us running for 200. If that's a formula for success. That's how. If we're running the ball, that's success. We're winning the game, no doubt about it. We're not running for 220 to lose. So I'm not a stat guy. Never been a stat guy. So I don't really care what his stats look like. He's a leader. I know Jose. I don't know where Jose is. I know he's on here. I'm waiting for him to let me have it for giving Dak my kudos. The other thing I'll say,
Yeah.
three things that are certain: Knicks, Brian Cashman, and Falcons are all booty.
Yeah, I addressed that already. No, and the Knicks are not. The Knicks are actually, like I said,
teams. Jose does not like any of your teams, Jimmy.
no, he likes the Yankees. He doesn't like Brian Cashman. He doesn't
No.
like a Boone either, and I don't blame him.
It goes down. He goes down with it. He'll play fine. I agree, no doubt about it. Steve, definitely agree with that. Averaging 38 points. Yep. See, I gotta get caught up on this chat. I'm behind everyone, and I saw that one. Yes, back home. But I got to go out. I'm going to the Jaguar game. If anyone's going, make sure you guys hit me up there. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then, yeah, of course, let's see. I agree. I don't mind Dak throwing 150 yards to win, but he stopped forcing the ball. No, I mean, he forced that one. That was no reason. And, Gilmore's he's a top-notch DB still. I know he's getting at the, backside of his career, but he's still someone that, he could have had 2 picks in that game. Really, there was another one, and I think it was inside our 20. He would have taken it to the house. So the other good thing I saw, and I talked to my buddy, he said that he didn't hear it on TV, but near in the fourth quarter, Zeke was running good, and it was goal line, and they had just the whole stadium just chanting Zeke, just calling Zeke, Zeke, Zeke. And he took it in on the next play. It was just such a good moment. I know his mom tweeted, even that made her teary-eyed. The thing, he gets hate, and that's why I love Zeke. He gets hate for whatever. He gets hate because he got paid. I mean, it is what it is. He gets hate because he got paid. And I'm never going to hate anyone for getting paid.
No.
That dude plays hard. He's a team guy. I mean, you see this whole thing with him and Pollard. I mean, you look at him. There's no animosity either way. It's whatever they can do to win, and you need them both. I mean, Pollard, you saw it killing them with sweeps every single time he's taking it wide. Zeke is going to bruise him, and he's going to get him up the middle. And you need that. You need that 1-2 punch. So I don't know why fans worry about what guys make, because it ain't affecting you, because someone's going to get the money. Jerry's going to charge what he wants, and that's just the way it is. I don't care who's getting paid. So I think he's a great teammate. He's a great Cowboy. He does all the right things. He's great in the community. So I just don't know why they hate, but it is what it is. People are going to hate because they got to hate.
No, you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, in today's league, you need 2 running backs. Why wouldn't you? Then you're going to have one guy beat up by the playoffs. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And you know what? I'll take the paycheck.
No,
give me the dough.
And, these guys' careers are short. So, and yes, Tyron's coming back. I feel good about it. That gives us more depth on the line. I think, like I said earlier, with Tyron getting out, you had Tyler Smith getting that working at left tackle. He's done well. I mean, he's had some rough starts, Jimmy, right? I mean, you're a rookie left tackle.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna have some bumps and bruises along the way, but he's even more ready. So now with Tyron back, you can slide him to guard. You put your best 5 linemen out there, and you're gonna get them for the playoff push. So I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. So I'm excited.
Good timing for you guys.
A little since he's been paid. He's declined because he's taken a beating. I mean, running backs take a beating. Very rarely do you see a running back get better with age. I mean,
and not for nothing.
5, it's going to start. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Not for nothing. He played through injury last year, and when he shouldn't have.
Yeah. I mean, he's averaging well over 4 yards a carry now. He's got a touchdown. He's done everything that he's needed to do. So I'm not gonna. I'm done. I'm done with the Zeke talk. I thought it was a great moment for the Cowboys fans to show some appreciation to Zeke, because I think he's a great teammate. He's a great leader on the team. And I know that, obviously made his family feel really good. I'm sure it made him feel good, because you don't know what's going to happen next year. They're not going to pay him $18 million. We all know that. It's a business. So let's just figure it out. And Mike had to pay Steele. No, Steele's going to get paid. I mean, we got Steele got to get paid. Diggs got to get paid. I think you're going to see, obviously, we don't want to get too far ahead, but Schultz he's not going to get paid. I think with the tight ends that they got, I mean, they're not going to pay. They're not going to pay him, 15 plus million. So they'll be doing some. There's going to be some changes. But all we care about, what do we got this year? Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's enjoy the moment. That's what Cowboys do. We get too far ahead. Enjoy the moment, the roster we have, and be happy. And then what else happened, Jimmy? I don't want to make it a whole Cowboys show. We can do this on Thursday. But what happened? What else happened today in the NFL that's worth talking about?
Well, we always talk about the AFC East every week because, we kind of got a little bit of ties there. The Bills beat the Patriots, and then the Jets and Dolphins lost. So it looks like the Bills might be taking command, unfortunately, because then I got to hear about it, right? The Bears were up early over Green Bay, and then Aaron Rodgers came back and did what he did. Justin Fields I tell you, once Justin Fields has people around him, he's damn good, man. I tell you. But he can't do it alone. Bengals beat the Chiefs, man. They're another team that's coming. They're hitting stride at the right time.
They're hitting strides, and it's so funny, and it makes me laugh. And no one talks about the Cowboys win against the Bengals with our backup quarterback as being a very good quality win. Whenever we beat a team, it's never a quality win. When we lose, they always say who we lose to, but they never bring up who we beat. But yeah, the Bengals, this is kind of what they did last year, right?
Yes.
Beating up down the stretch. And I mean, Burrow's got Mahomes' number, man. That's 3 in a row, I think. I think it's 3 this calendar year. I think it was 3 times in 2022.
Yeah. And we talked last week about the perfect timing about Deshaun Watson coming back to play the Texans. And let's be honest, he didn't look. I mean, he hasn't played in a couple of years, granted. But Mr. Handy didn't play well yesterday. I think he was 11 to 25. He threw an interception, no touchdown. The defense won the game for them against a woeful Houston Texans team.
Yeah.
So,
and we're playing them. I saw some of the Texans may get up to play us. It ain't happening. They're going to get destroyed. Now, I know it's football. Anything can happen. But that ain't, I can't see it happen. They have no talent on the team. I don't even know who the hell the quarterback is. I don't even, you know what I mean? And they just get smoked. And, they had all the fire, obviously, with Watson, but that only lasts so long. There's really, what are they going to do, with us? I mean, our offense is too much. The defense is too much. And we'll see what happens. Yeah. Thoughts on OBJ?
He was at the Knicks game last night.
Yeah, he was at and now he's at the Mavericks tonight. He loves basketball. He likes Knicks basketball.
That's right.
He likes the Mavericks more. I think the Cowboys are signing him. The question always is the knee. So I think I was listening to radio. He's had 5 injuries, all on the same knee. All his injuries have been on this, not a knee, same leg. Pardon. Let me correct myself. The same leg is where he's had all his injuries. So that's a little bit of a concern. Yeah, there it is. David Mills is a quarterback. Geez, that's embarrassing. And they don't stand a chance. And I think the Cowboys are going to sign him. I think they'll probably sign him tomorrow. I think it's going to be sometime this week. Now that being said, if we don't sign him, I mean, I don't think it changes the landscape as far as where we're at. I think signing him makes. I think it gives us a little bit of an edge. I think psychologically it gives us more of an edge. Because psychologically, I think it's an uplift to the team. If you heard Gallup after the game, you heard Dak, you've heard Zeke before, Pollard, all these guys on offensive calling them and welcoming them in with open arms and wanting to, come to the team. I've never seen a recruiting job like this since Deion Sanders to the Cowboys and Michael Irvin and all the guys doing that. And you know what? We don't know what he's going to get. You see with Gallup, it's taken Gallup 4 to 5 weeks, and now he's starting to get things rolling, starting to get his legs back.
Yeah.
Maybe Odell is, he's going to be your third receiver, but if you really think about it, CeeDee's your one, Gallup's there. You got Odell in the slot going against their third cornerback. I mean, would you take that matchup? I don't care if he's 70% or 80%.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just tough. How much dough are you going to drop on somebody who you don't know what football condition he's in? I don't know. I guess you'll see what happens. I think he will end up in Dallas. And how much is Jerry going to pay him? Is he going to pay him the $20 million?
I don't think if he wants a longer term deal with a lot of money, they're not going to pay him. Did Uncle Cheech fall asleep on the strip clubs? We're going to find out. We're gonna
Whoa.
find out because I think I see him. What about what do you think about AB? Let's see. What do you think about AB?
Antonio Brown.
What about him?
What about him?
Anthony Brown. No, they probably came on late. They're talking
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
Anthony
Okay.
Brown. Now starter Bland. Yeah, we touched on it earlier. You can rewind that, but a little concerned with the depth. I think Bland's going to be fine. My son has given me the assurance that Kelvin Joseph is going to step up big time. So I will, I'm gonna ride with him. He knows a lot of football. He loves college, so he knows a lot of these guys. So we'll see.
He said, it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah. No
It'll be
chance they
fine.
give him $20 million. Yeah. They're not going to give him, I don't think they're going to give him $20 million. I think it'll be like a 2-year deal. There'll be some incentives. There'll be something there. I'm sure he's going to get, a decent amount, but I don't see him doing that. So, chats are great. Football's great. Cowboys, we're loving it. But you know what I love a little bit more, Jimmy? I don't know about you. I love little Uncle Cheech.
Oh, I love Uncle Cheech.
I don't know how he did last week. College is tricky, and college bowl games are even a little more tricky because you just don't know what to get. There's always surprises. So I think USC took a hit. I think he might have took a hit at that TCU game, but he gave a lot of points up for Georgia LSU, and I think Georgia covered there. And Michigan, I think he gave up a lot. I think they covered there. So we got Uncle Cheech on. You guys, if you're looking for some, a little gambling, some tip advice, trying to figure out what to do, this is the man you got to go to. He knows all. These are going to be the games he's picking. He always gives his lock and upset of the week. I think his lock is like an 80% clip or more.
It's amazing.
So without any further ado, let's get Uncle Cheech on, find out where is he at. We'll get you over here. You need to be on the big screen. So, Uncle Cheech.
Uncle Cheech.
How you feeling?
How you doing, guys?
Uncle Cheech. Thanks to Uncle Cheech. This is what's going on right here. It's raining. Look at this. This is thanks to Uncle Cheech and nothing but the finest bottles of wine.
The finest bottles of wine.
A debt of gratitude to my Uncle Cheech.
Oh.
I had a little rough week. I got 3 out of the 5 conference championships I picked.
Yeah.
You're at the TCU game. 1 foot made the difference. They could have went in, scored 7, got stopped.
Now there was controversy. Did you guys watch it? That he did cross the line. That he did.
That's the way it was called. So
I didn't know if you need to run a full scale.
I got to tell you what, that quarterback. What a heart on that kid.
Yeah.
Quarterback. What a heart on that kid. Never saw nothing like it. But anyway, I was 3 out of the 5. Georgia covered. Clemson covered. Michigan covered. Now, my pro games.
How did we do at the pro?
Now, Monday night, I took Indy over Pittsburgh. Big mistake. Should never put the game on. I had to put on Twitter. I said, I'm watching a promising young quarterback against an old, washed-up quarterback.
Yeah.
Washed up. You saw that last night. Washed up.
Yeah.
You ought to sell Frozens down the Orange Bowl next week. But anyway, I lost that one. Yeah, my upset special. Jets came close, but no cigar.
Yeah, that was close. And they had a chance. They came up short.
Then my lock was Denver at Baltimore. Quarterback goes down. That was the end of that. Denver played true to form, though. Scored 9 points.
9 points, gave up 10. That's about what they do. Now, I do want to, you deserve an extra win. I stopped it because I didn't want no jinx. But you told me that the Cowboys are going to absolutely destroy them. You called it. You even put it on Twitter. I saw on your Twitter account you put it. You said I got no problem with the game, especially with on that Saturday game. So you should deserve a point for that. I just I get very superstitious, and I don't want anything going on. I don't want no bad mojo. And you had that Packer game where you told me we were going to roll, and I had doubts, but I believed you. Didn't come through. So that I apologize for that because you deserve to win for that one.
What I see in the NFC right now is there's only two teams:
Yeah.
Eagles, Cowboys. San Francisco quarterback's done, even though they beat Miami. Tua had a bad game, bad day. I think that defense intimidated him a little bit. He threw a lot of bad balls, but that's the game. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. And I don't think San Francisco is going to be able to go long term with a third string quarterback.
No.
I mean, that would be one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Now, their defense is good and they've got some guys, but I just don't see how they're going to be able to do it.
You know,
he's
two
a
teams
rookie.
barring any injuries in the NFC. You'll see Christmas Eve. You'll know where you are.
Yeah.
Both teams, one way or the other. And like
I said, we're going to see him
you'll
again. Yeah.
You'll see him
Either
again.
whatever happens, we're going to see him again. We're going to see him again. So,
But anyhow, my picks this week.
all pros because we don't have much college, right?
Well, let's not forget our servicemen, men and
Oh,
women.
we got a bonus. We got a bonus game.
Yeah,
I didn't
yes.
put it on
We
there.
got a bonus this week.
Okay.
But anyhow, tonight I'm going to take Tampa Bay over New Orleans. I'm going to give 3.5. New Orleans has beat Tampa Bay, I think, 7 out of the last 8 games, something along that line. But I think tonight's a real important game for Tampa Bay. I think it's kind of a must-win game to keep them at the top, even though the record's not too good. I'll take Tampa Bay. Now, I'm going to take Baltimore's at Pitt. I'm going to take Pittsburgh -3.
Wow.
I don't
They
know
got the
what kind
backup.
of
Lamar Jackson wouldn't even talk
Lamar
about. He's probably
Jackson.
out, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I
hurt his
don't know if
knee.
he's playing. If he's not playing, I like Pittsburgh. I like their young quarterback.
Playing better.
So that's what I'm telling you. Every time I pick the Ravens, they let me down. Every time. I think I picked them 2 times this year. I give up on that. My upset special I had to change because when I checked the odds this morning, I checked it this afternoon, they changed. I had 2 different teams going. But now I'm going to take the Jets +9
Wow.
at Buffalo.
At Buffalo.
Man.
I'll take the 9 points.
Okay.
I don't believe Mike White is a nice story, man. I just don't, I don't see it. I think they're gonna get smoked, but that's me.
Jets got a good defense. I mean, they might keep it close. I'm not saying I'm not going to pick them outright to win.
Yeah.
But I think they keep it within the
Keep
spread.
it close.
Yeah.
Keep it close.
And Josh Allen throws interceptions, so we'll see what happens.
Now, my lock of the week.
Lock of the week. Lock it up. I got to get that sound effect. What do we got?
Be Philadelphia at the Giants. I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to give 6.5. I think they're a far better team. I think they'll cover easily. I agree with you, Jimmy. They looked real good this week. Real good.
That line's only 6.5.
When I checked tonight, it was 6.5.
Wow.
Wow.
Unfortunately, they look good.
That's what you want to play, the locks. The other ones you have some fun with. We play the locks. I lost the last one, dropped me down to about 70%, but I'll make it up this week. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles would be way too much for that team. Both sides of the ball.
Well, more importantly, we're going to ask you a question because you're a college expert and you study this and you get a. What's your initial thoughts? Deion Primetime Sanders going to Colorado. Do you think that is? How do you think he's going to fare there?
Well, at one time, Colorado used to be a powerhouse.
That's what I was telling you. They were a powerhouse in the 80s and 90s.
That's right. It was Colorado, Syracuse, Miami, Florida State. Now they're all irrelevant, except Florida State's making a good comeback right now. But I think in a couple of years, if he recruits, but now you got the portal, you got players coming in, players going out. It wasn't like that back then. Yeah. I think he'll be okay, but
he can recruit.
Yeah, and he can recruit from Florida, which is a big thing, and probably California, Texas. That's where you want to get your recruits from.
Yeah.
And he should be okay in a few years. I wouldn't expect miracles overnight.
Well, what
You gotta-
did you
That's true.
think? What did you think? Well, you got USC. Who's leaving? USC and someone's leaving the pack, right? In 2 years, they're leaving, right? I
Yeah, if
think.
I remember right.
Yeah, there's 2
Aren't they
teams
going to the
leaving.
Big Ten or something? Or?
Yeah, they're going to the Big Ten. So what did you think about his comment to the Colorado players? Did you that old school mentality? Some people he's getting killed for it. He's telling them that, hey, if you may want to get in the portal,
Yeah,
ain't coming to play.
He's being honest with them.
Yeah,
I mean, we look at Miami, for example, my team. He didn't say it in so many words, but he wants to bring in his type of player, his type of mentality, and I'm sure Dion.
well, Dion, like Mikey said, Dion said he's bringing his luggage. So
hey, it's old school. I love it.
So it's going to take him a couple of years, but he'll probably be okay.
yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I know there was talk of him maybe going to USF. That would have been kind of fun being in Tampa with him. But I think Colorado's a great spot for him because they haven't won in a while. They're still a Power 5, and even if he got him to 500 next year, I mean that would be a miracle.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Massive improvement.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
They used to be one of the most feared colleges back in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember we used to have fights like
Miami, Colorado. That was a big game. Big game.
Yeah. Wow. That is good. Anything else in the mind of Uncle Cheech?
Yeah.
Let's not forget men and women of the armed forces.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Special game.
Army-Navy game. I'm going to take Navy since this is the Dallas Cowboy format here. Roger Staubach, he played for the Naval Academy. This is a pick'em game. I'll take Navy.
That's awesome.
All right.
In respect to Roger Staubach, Hall of Fame quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, one of the greatest of all time in my eyes. When I was younger, I used to watch him all the time.
Hey, Uncle Cheech, I'm going to be out in Vegas later in the week. Are you going to be out there doing any research or doing anything out there?
I don't tell anybody where I go. You know that.
Okay. Well,
I'm here, and I'm there, and I'm here, and I'm there, and I'm up, and I'm down, all around.
A little bit of this is a
little bit of that. Ah!
I could teach the this, and I could teach the that. You know,
it's all lies.
Oh.
Well,
but it's gonna be like
drop me a line last minute. I'd love to see you.
Well, I might see. I might be up for the if you play the Bucks, Tampa, I might come up.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Make a special appearance. Get Uncle Cheech at the game live. Might be maybe drop a little video or something like that. So we'll see how it goes. But no, I appreciate it, Uncle Cheech, always dropping the knowledge, being the expert that you are. You guys make sure if you're not following Uncle Cheech, he's getting new at it. Now you can see he's got to work on that technology. But make sure you follow him on Twitter. He might drop a couple hints, extra special picks for you, maybe a couple nuggets to think about before you drop that bet on Sunday. So make sure you follow Uncle Cheech, obviously along with Jimmy D and myself.
Play the lock, one game.
Yep.
Don't stay away in the parlay, garbage and picking 5 teams. Think you ain't gonna win. It's a lot. Bet it all.
All right.
You'll take home some coin.
All right, Uncle Cheech.
All right.
Until next time, we appreciate it.
You guys have a good one.
Grazie mille. A presto.
Wait a minute. I cut Jimmy out. I'm getting ready to me and Uncle Cheech.
That's okay. If it's anything for Uncle Cheech, we don't show disrespect to him.
No, a couple things. And I want you. I saw someone say Dion's going to be a coach in the NFL. And I know Mikey came back, said no. There is no way. Listen to me. No way Deion Sanders ever coaches in the NFL. Not because he's not capable. He cannot handle today's athletes that are making that money. He is a competitor, and the way he is, he'll end up in a fight with one of the
Right.
players. I'm just telling you, it's just a different game,
Well,
and you're
right.
dealing with millionaires against millionaires and all that. College is the perfect situation for him because he can influence some young minds. He can motivate. He can do all of that. And I think the college game. I think the college game is such a benefit having Deion Sanders in it.
And like you said, Deion's old school. He got paid and he earned every penny of it. But at the end of the day, he wanted to win, and that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
He wasn't arguing with coaches and all this crap. So yeah, he would not last.
Yeah. No, I just, and you've seen it with some of these great players, and they try and get into coaching. It's just, it's always, it's very difficult. And
Two big examples: Jordan and Gretzky. Neither
Yeah.
one of them were successful, coaching at the professional level.
Yeah,
Right?
and I think Deion Sanders, that competitive nature, it's a very small percentage of people that have that mentality that he's had as a player, and you can just see the passion he has when he's coaching. You ain't talking to NFL players the way he's talking to those college kids. It ain't never happening. They won't. That's why you didn't see Nick Saban. Nick Saban wasn't going to make it in the NFL. I mean, it's just there's certain coaching styles and certain coaches. They do better in certain levels, and I think college football. And again, if I'm him, I would never want. Why would you want to go to the NFL, and argue with a bunch of millionaires and tell them to sit the bench? What do they care? So it's just different. He wouldn't last. But anyway.
No, I want to say, Steve, thanks for letting me know the Rangers score, because at least I have some hope for one of my teams right now.
So I got a good question going through the chat about invested in my man cave. Now, the beauty of this is, as I look around and I think about it, a lot of what is in here is things that I've gotten myself. So, the pictures that are on the wall, I would probably say 90% of them I didn't pay anything for. The Parsons and Lamb jersey, I did buy those. They were at signings, and I did do the framing. But the framing, I look for the specials, and I'm passionate about the man caves. If you saw Jeff on Thursday, that man cave he had, I went over there. We designed it all up, and you probably saw some similarities. I got a certain style I like.
You were his interior designer.
Yeah, and somewhat. The framing is what can get you. Can run the pricing up. And the framing is what you do is you go to Michael's, and like Christmas time, they start running specials. You get those stack of frames, they're like $10 each, $8 each. You get the frame, and then what you do is you replace it with either UV glass or UV acrylic, which you can get on Amazon, or you can get the glass at Michael's. They'll cut it for you. So I do that for the framing. So all the frames are the same. And those frames are like $8 frames, but they look really nice and sharp and clean. And that's pretty much all you got to do. Now, where and how to get the signings. If you're into cards, I love sports memorabilia and cards. They do shows all the time. Today the 5th? Maybe it's the 6th. Whatever day it was, it might have been the 6th. CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons are doing a signing in Dallas at either some store, and I just saw it. You got to pay a little money for it, but they're doing a signing there. It had to have been today, because I was like, man, if I stayed Monday, I would have went over to try and see him. So, so that's pretty much, where you can get some of the stuff. Are you in the football man cave? Remember, I'm in a man cave group on Facebook, and then I'm in some football ones too. I collect stuff. It's what you do, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when it's all gone. Jimmy, what do you do with this stuff when it's all gone? Hopefully your kids enjoy it. Hopefully they want it. But yeah, I'm on Facebook groups there for memorabilia and man caves.
Mike will be a Cowboys fan for life. That'll be hanging in his Cowboys cave.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, that's the trouble with some of these kids, man. It's like, if you've been I was a Cowboys fan born in 75. So, my memories of the 90s are very clear. Very clear. I was a senior in high school, then after. So up until I was 20 years old, 21 or whatever, I saw Super Bowl. So I got a good memory of it. My son, the only memory he has is disappointment with the Cowboys. So, that generation, it's a little bit different. So I'll always be a Cowboys fan. I don't know my son. I think he will be, but you never know. You never know. So
You got to treat them right. Got to raise them right.
absolutely, absolutely. So and definitely, I'm not. And again, we want Philly. I'm not going to call them out. I could give a crap about them. And someone made a comment because I said I used their name in my video, which I'm going to play in the outro, which my last video I did say Philly. I only said that because Philly, if you watch, if you on social media, they were making a big deal. When the game was close, it was, oh, look at Dallas. It's just the Colts, because they had a close game and we kind of, I guess some fans, gave some stuff for it. And then when we blew them out, all the conversation disappeared and stuff that got deleted and
Crickets.
all of this stuff. So that's why I said Philly. I was basically saying when we got the common opponent there with the Colts, you guys talked your noise. You saw what we did when we dropped 54 on them. So yeah, no, and there is straight disappointment.
This is what I think about Philadelphia. All their teams, all of them.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I don't care what anyone says. I respect the Eagles team. Let's just say that. I don't like the fans, but I respect the Eagles team. But we're going to beat them man to man. We're better than they are. We're going to handle this business against the Texans. I'll be in Jacksonville. I'll be back down to AT&T. So any of the Cowboys Nation, all you got, I love meeting up with the fans. Actually, I met a couple random ones. It sucks because, I met one that was sitting just 2 rows behind me. I never got his name or anything like that. And then I was walking, and a fan, I think it was from Canada, he stopped me, and we took a picture, and I didn't get a picture, so I tried to see if they posted, because I always like to have that. It's great memory. But I love talking to the fans. Obviously, I saw Jay Tuck out there, Kevin, his son, Matthew. I did a cameo for him for his birthday last year, so I got to meet his son, and we're friends on Facebook. So I kind of I've watched his son grow up a little bit, and he was playing in the Little League playoffs and doing all that kind of stuff. So those are the fun things that that I love. So if you're out there, I'm no celebrity or anything like that, man. I love hanging with the people. You can message me on Twitter or Instagram and just say, hey man, I'm at the game. Where you at? And I've gone down and met people in the corridors or something like that. If obviously if we're close enough to do it with the stadium.
Mike Tagg is a man of the people.
Man of the people. Jimmy was a man of Jimmy was out there, mingling with the folks, and that's what it's all about. It really is. You were there.
Fun.
Part of the game is the pregame stuff.
Hanging out, throwing a few drinks back, talking bullshit. Even afterwards, we were hanging out. Now that's the fun part of it. Is just the camaraderie and talking to everybody. So now that.
And that's what I tell people. It's like, why do you go to, you're going to these games? I have it just like anyone. We have a budget, right? You got a family. I got a family of 4. We have a budget. There's certain dollars you allocate towards entertainment. Then you got the bills. You got this and that. So you do what you got to do. And one thing I like to do is I love the Cowboys. And as a kid, I couldn't go to the game, couldn't afford it, didn't have the means to do it. So now I got the means to do it. So,
right.
You got to
why not?
Gotta make it happen. So I enjoy it. I
Thank
appreciate
you, sir.
Love the video. That video was fun to do. I don't know if Jimmy saw it, but that video it was fun to do. I was having trouble downloading it because the data was so bad. So hopefully it got on at a reasonable time.
Which the after game video?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
Not yet.
You didn't see it. So do we have anything else to cover, Jimmy? I mean, what else do we have? I mean, we have a great live chat room. The fans. I love it. I appreciate it. I know Jimmy appreciates it. I mean, we do this for fun. Like I said, man, we've been friends for 35, plus years or whatever it is, since we were kids. So we always want to do this. We love doing it. Jimmy probably gets mad. He's like, God damn, Mike, all you do is talk about the Cowboys. Can I get a word in edgewise?
Hey, it's Tag Nation, man. That's what it's all about. It's quiet. But you allow me the opportunity to vent about my damn Falcons and what the hell's going on. But again, it's a good time. We love talking to everybody. We love the chat. We'll get the phone lines up going soon. I apologize. When the chat's going on, it's work, and unfortunately I wasn't logged in. I had to kind of backdoor my way into the thing tonight, so I couldn't help with the chat. So I apologize because it gets backed up quickly. Loves you.
Yeah. And we got some more. Yeah,
Yeah.
Zeke jumping in the Kel. We'll finish a couple of chats. Anyone worried about OBJ isn't working out? I mean, that's a concern. I think if you're going to invest some money, I think you want to make sure the man's healthy. So that would make me concerned about giving him a lot of money. I think that would definitely play into the decision. Let's see, Zach and Deke versus the 4 horsemen tight end. Yeah, that was good. The kettle jump. I love the tight end one. That I'm going to say that was clever. The Zeke, Jack in the box with Dak, that was good too. I mean, it's 1A and 1B, but the tight end one caught me off guard. So I really like that. Michael Irvin is going to dinner. He's supposed to be going to the game with OBJ. You know that. If Michael Irvin's there, anyone who see Michael Irvin and knows Michael Irvin, hears Michael Irvin ain't letting him leave without a contract.
No,
He'll definitely. He's all there. Troy Aikman even came out and said that he'll be shocked if OBJ isn't a Dallas Cowboy.
Michael Irvin's gonna be whining and dining him all night long.
Yeah, hopefully not too much. Not old school, Michael. We want to do something.
Right.
So anyway, hey, if any of you guys missed it, make sure if you're on here now, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, spread the word. Like I said, we're just a couple guys, couple friends. We're going to be talking sports and we want to have fun. We want to make it interactive.
Absolutely.
It got a little crazy. We don't want any of that stuff. It got a little crazy with my flights and Jimmy. This Monday was so we couldn't get the phone lines going because it just got to be a little too hectic. But we'll get the phone lines going again. Again, I do a show also just for Cowboys on Thursday. Sometimes try and get a surprise guest. Jimmy, you're always welcome to just make a surprise appearance, an impromptu, if you will. It's just a wide open show just to have some fun. I do it late, so it's it's kind of like starting that weekend, get my mind right, then I work Friday and make it happen.
Well, like I was telling Uncle Cheech, next week I'll be coming live from Vegas.
Okay.
Got a little family thing going on out there, followed by some work. So
I have to bet some coin.
Exactly. That's why I was jotting down notes with Uncle Cheech.
Yes. Yeah. We'll keep them going. Until then, guys, we will see you next week. Same time, same channel. I want to leave you with the video since Jimmy didn't see it. Of course, we got to make sure Jimmy sees it. So make sure, Jimmy, you watch it. And you guys have a great week. And maybe I'll see you on Thursday. Jimmy, if I don't talk to you, have a great week and great weekend too, brother.
Thanks. You too, bro.
All right.
I told you guys if you were watching the video what was going to happen, but we did a little once more. Now, I said we'd kill Matt Ryan. I felt bad for the old man. I talked to the team. I said, take it easy on Pops. Don't hurt him too bad. But that didn't stop you from getting them picks, getting them fumbles, and putting up 54. So, that's how you handle teams that don't matter. Philly, take note. You bury them. And that's exactly what we did. So all you haters, keep talking all the noise, keep saying all the shit because we get things going. Can you feel me? Can you dig it?